Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in to My Crafting World. My name is Anna. So today I have a quick tutorial on how to make just a basic envelope for a folded up pocket letter. And you can do with or without goodies. I have an example here that I'm going to be using that I got in a swap. So this is a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. And I do want the center to be my the front of my envelope. So what I'm going to do, that's a little bit too large. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it down to a 10-inch sheet of paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 1 inch from each side. So it's 12 inches right now. I am going to cut at 11. So that will eliminate the first inch on one side. And then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to cut it at 10 inches. That will take care of the other inch on the other side. Okay, so now it is 10 inches and we'll measure that just to make sure. Yep, we're at 10 inches. 10 inches, there we go. And I'm going to leave the length, the 12 inches, I'm going to leave that alone. So I no longer need the cutter. I'm going to take my scoreboard and I'm going to flip it over, and we are at a 10-inch sheet of paper. So I'm going to score this at 3 inches right here. And I'm going to score it twice because I don't like to score too hard, because if the paper is kind of thick, it'll break on me. And then the second score line I'm going to do at 7.5. So there's my second score line. And then I'm going to, you can see the score lines right there. And then I'm going to flip it over this way. And it is a 12-inch, so it takes the entire space here. So the first score line I am going to make is at 1 inch. So that's 1 inch. And then the second one I am going to make at 11 3/4. This is going to be my top. Yes, that is my top. So you only have to be careful with that if you have a certain pattern that you want a certain way. But this one, it really doesn't matter. But this is my top right here. And this is my bottom. So I am finished with my scoreboard. I will move that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this corner, this corner, this corner, and this corner. Okay? So I am going to cut right above the score line, and I'm going to cut right above the score line on this one as well. And you don't want to cut too far. Right above the score line, and this one again right above the score line. Okay guys, so we have removed all 4 corners, and this is your basic envelope. I have all kind of stuff on my table here. Okay, so if you'll notice, one side is a little wider than the other, and I want it that way. So when I fold this down and then fold this one down, I want them to overlap. Okay, so as you can see, I didn't cut perfectly straight, so my OCD will not let me leave that alone. So I am going to snip that off. Look at my edges again. I guess that's good enough. And I'm gonna cut this one just a little bit more. And you can cut just a little bit because you don't want, when you fold your envelope, you don't want this part to fold over these flaps. Okay, so my flaps are done. So I am going, you can, at this point you can, before you before you tape it down or glue it down, whichever you choose, you can cut with a, you know, a border punch or a die. You can cut, you know, a really pretty border on there. But usually I'm in a hurry when I'm making mine, so I don't do that. So of course, I know I mentioned before that my corner rounder broke. So I use my envelope punch board, and I am going to, you know, just round the edges just a little bit. I don't like those really rough edges, so. Okay, then we round these. Okay, and I'm good. Okay, so at this point, I want it to, where's my top? That's my top. And I do want it to, I want my longer flap to go over my shorter one. So I am going to take my gun, my ATC, and I am going to put a line of adhesive right here. And then I am going to put one on this side as well. This one's the one that goes under. Okay, so I am going to put some glue right here, or adhesive, and right here. You know what, I may have gone a little too far with this one. I did. So let me rub that off. Okay, that should be okay. Okay. So I went way too far with the adhesive, but that'll work right there. So, okay. My OCD is kicking in again. It won't let me do that. So, we're good to go right there. You just flip it over, press down, and you are good on that end because it'll adhere on this end and this end. Okay, so there's your envelope. And then on this end, remember this is my bottom because it's not as wide as the top. So on this end, I'm going to adhere this down. I'm going to do the same thing here. And I am going to just flip it over, press down. And you can glue this as well. I just, you know, it's quicker to use the ATC. Okay, so I am done with my envelope. So next I'm going to grab this little pocket letter that someone sent me, Easter pocket letter, and I am going to put it in here. And like I said, it will work if you don't have a lot of goodies in there. And she's got a fair amount of goodies in there. Okay? And then at this point, you would adhere that down and you are ready to go. Just put an address label on there. You can put it, I would probably do it this way because the numbers are facing the right way this way. But it doesn't matter really because this is facing the other way. So anyway, that is your basic envelope for a pocket letter. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that and learned a little something. And thank you for tuning in. I would appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and I will talk to everyone later. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great day.